Hey guys, and welcome! Today I want to take a look at Battlefield 1 Incursions, and I wouldn't even call it how they failed, because they've never even been released to actually fail. So probably the proper phrasing for it would be Battlefield 1 biggest fail, or DICE's biggest fail, but then again it's not gonna get that many views, so I suppose I should say EA's biggest fail, right? In all seriousness though, if there is anyone here who hasn't heard about Incursions, and trust me, there's absolutely no shame in not knowing what it is, especially considering that nobody's playing it. When I made my previous videos about it, I was quite certain that the game mode will actually be released in Battlefield 1. Many players in the community were claiming that Incursions are just a test before Battlefield 5 Incursions, where the competitive game mode will actually be implemented from the game launch, but I was always skeptical, because realistically, why would DICE reveal whole Incursions at Gamescom last year if they weren't going to release it to the public? I mean, why would you even show a product that's never gonna go out of beta or alpha? Unless we're talking about Daisy that's been in alpha for like forever. But for real though, like, what was the point of showing us Incursions, inviting us to test it out, and then practically wasting our time because our feedback and our participation in testing didn't give any results? We are not getting the final product. Why? Or I'll play it safe here and say we did not get the product yet at the point of me recording the video, which is like 4 days before Battlefield 5 reveal at EA Play. Just in case they release it. Now I behave like Battlefield 5 leakers when they post 7 factions that will be in Battlefield 5, and then DICE makes the official announcement saying that there'll only be 2 factions at start of the game, but the leakers decide to list all of the factions that were possible to be implemented, just in case they were wrong, so now they can say, hey, I was right with those factions. Yeah, you might be right with 2 of them, but those 5 others that you listed don't even exist yet. I mean, come on. I'm going off the topic with this video, aren't I? So back to Incursions. Why did those fail? And we could talk about Battlefield 1 being casual, core gameplay mechanics not being suitable for the competitive, and all of this is right, but I think that the biggest mistake DICE, or EA, both of them, they're the same thing at this point, are making with Incursions, is going into an already saturated market of esport games and trying to compete there instead of creating something unique. And what I mean by saying this is that they've decided for their game mode and their idea of competitive Battlefield to be designed for 5 players. 5 players in one, 5 in the other team, and that's the competitive. While they could easily go down the road of making it 8v8 or 10v10 or 12v12, now I know it takes a little bit more logistics, but then it could be actually something different and unique. And people would be attracted to seeing it only because it's something different that's never been done in the esports scene. Because realistically, if they release Incursions designed for 5v5, they are directly competing with CSGO, Rainbow Six Siege, even PUBG, which has 4 players per team, but still, 4 players is almost 5. Same thing with Overwatch, where I think there is 6 players in one team, although I might be wrong, I have not really played Overwatch that much. And even if it wouldn't be about being a direct competition to already established franchises on the esports scene, it's also about attracting viewers, the audience, the most important thing in esports. I think that it would be much easier for the audience, especially for Battlefield community, to relate to those competitive game modes if they were designed for a bigger amount of players. Even 8v8. Like, 8v8 could totally justify adding vehicles into the game mode. Current state with 5v5 and having tanks, that's quite absurd, at least in my opinion, but I see this opinion being shared by many competitive players. It really could be interesting, even with the current Battlefield 1 mechanics where movement isn't really competitive, and same for the gunplay. Maybe I'm totally wrong with it, and DICE will prove it with Battlefield 5. Who knows? But at this point, at least from what I've seen and what was released to the public, Incursions were practically the biggest fail when it comes to Battlefield 1. And that would be it for this video, guys. Before you click off, and you know I've already done the same trick yesterday, now you stayed, short version. Couple days ago, I've created an Instagram account and it will be a part of my EA Play coverage that starts tomorrow. I mean, the coverage from my EA Play trip starts tomorrow because the actual event starts on the 9th, but I'm going a bit earlier to avoid the jet lag. So if you are interested in seeing the part of EA Play that no one has ever shown you, trust me, none of Battlefield 1 YouTubers are actually doing it, make sure to follow it. There is a link down in the description, you can see it on the screen right now, and as always, if you enjoyed, remember to leave a like, subscribe, and I see you on the battlefield.